So, it's been roughly 1 year since P5X made its official debut, and frankly speaking, back then I was not impressed. But now that we've given them a year to cook, what has changed for the Persona 5 mobile game? Short answer, a lot. Long answer, this video. This whole time I've been keeping my tabs on P5X, but there's never really been anything to warrant a big update video until now, as the game is officially releasing in Asia this week, and it's already out in China. So, let's talk about what's new, and how, strangely enough, all of my criticisms from my past video have been addressed. For those who don't remember, I was a bit concerned about Perfect World Games. If you do a quick Google search, you see a long list of controversies, and they've not really made any crazy popular games that at least I'd heard of. But that came with a bad faith argument. Perfect World Games is a big company, and I don't necessarily think it's fair to judge Blackwing Studios on things their co-workers have done. We don't know exactly who's producing this game, and that bit of uncertainty rubbed me the wrong way. And funny enough, I made the comment of, maybe this is a Cinderella story, and the guy in charge is like super cool. I love Persona. It's my favorite game. And almost verbatim, we get introduced to the game's director, who says, I love Persona 5. It's the best game. I'm gonna play. Now, I'm not stupid. I know he wasn't going to say on record, hate Persona, it's so mid, I hate my job. But the fact that he's just coming out and just saying like, hey, I'm me, I'm excited for this project, speaks volumes to the confidence that Perfect World and Atlus have for this collaboration. Another show of transparency with the fans is the game's art director just saying hi to the fans, like they're saying like, hey, so Ijima made the protagonist and his persona. We're working on everything else. I was really afraid of the art clash. And while yes, some of the new characters do look slightly off model, they look good enough. And I know they're going to get even better once they get used to creating more and more assets for this game. I was also worried that it was just a retelling of Persona 5, and that is not true. We now know enough about the story and the setting and everything that goes on in it that Wonder is not a replacement for Joker. They are completely different characters with different goals. Yes, they are going to the metaverse and taking on the 7 deadly sins, but everything in between that is new. But that's not to say Joker's not in the story. He is the face of Persona, whether you like it or not. But the Joker we see in P5X might not be Joker himself, as the devs have commented that P5X is a story where certain events in P5 did not occur. So that makes me think like, like what went down? Maybe the inciting incidents of P5 and, Joker being sent to Yongenjaya and Shujin Academy, that never occurred. So for the events of P5 to make sense, they gotta pick some random other, teenagers and send them into the metaverse. And the scenario for P5 is more than a decade old. In that time, new social issues for not just Asia, but the whole world have come and risen up. So I'm not saying it's a rewrite, but they can do commentary on more modern issues in an insightful way. We already know Wonder is a totally different character than Joker. Joker's just trying to live an ordinary high school life, gets thrown into a crazy scenario. Wonder, he has no desires. He's not really sure what he wants to do with his life. Then I guess, becomes a phantom thief. Obviously, I'm a little scarce on all the details for the story, but those are two very different arcs, even if they do have similar roles. And lastly, combat. I made a video talking about this a year ago that, yeah, I like Persona 5's combat loop, but you just use an attack and then you knock them down, you all-out attack. It's not really too complicated. Well, in P5X, they've decided to experiment with the tried and true Atlus formula by giving certain enemies these shield icons. And I've seen some beta footage of like people playing, and yeah, you have to chip away at these shields, then you can knock them down and get all-out attacks. That is really interesting to me. For me personally, when I play a mobile game, I want to assemble a team with a strategy in mind, then execute that strategy to beat the boss, get the loot, and that's fulfilling and a cool loop to me. So it looks like P5X is going down that route, which makes me excited. Heck, not even Persona 3 Reload has a system like that. Shadows, you just stomp them suckers. You almost feel bad. But for me personally, like making these like free-to-play setups and trying to defeat some of the bosses in these mobile games has always been a joy for me. I'm thinking about like Fire Emblem Heroes, the first year of that. Like that was always a blast. So what I'm trying to say is, I was harsh, but it's only because I care. It looks like Perfect Wing Studio also took like Chinese player feedback into consideration and is being very serious about the story because, it's a work in progress. That's what all these live service games are. But we also have a lot of new characters, and I'll be the first man to say it. I wasn't too hyped about P5X. Then I saw her. Oh, mama. All right, let's... It's true, though. It's true. I was like, oh, man, I don't want to play this crap. And then I saw Okon. I'm like, what's her story like? Maybe we should check this game out after all. But she is a Phantom Idol. We first have to talk about the Phantom Thieves. Since the last update, we did get some new party members added. So we already know about Eri, we already know about Wonder and Luffy. But who the heck is this guy? Well, Shu Kano operates his family restaurant, and he loves to cook, but he hates Hiromi Miyazawa, a food critic who gets paid to write favorable reviews, aka bribery. He offered this bribe to Shu's family business, but his father rejected it, and ever since he's been getting negative press. His restaurant also isn't doing so well, and his father is physically ill. If you don't mind me saying, that's a good arc. And yes, they both have blue hair, they both have a crush on a female party member. It is what it is. But Shu's design is so... I like this guy. Everybody's sleeping on him. The game's even sleeping on him. He's always in the back. No, he's the star player. He's got this crazy, axe he just swings around. I don't know if it's a tomahawk. It looks like a fire axe, actually. And he wields this huge Gatling gun, which, by the way, where is he storing that? I don't want to think about it. Hiromu's palace is also similar to Madarame's, but it's a totally different vibe. Instead of thieves infiltrating a museum, I guess we're going up against a emperor or some kind. It's a very Japanese themed area, but distinct enough from Madarame's it doesn't feel repetitive. But let me shut up about Shu, even though I don't want to. Let's talk about the new character Riko Tanemura, codename Wind, who we know almost nothing about. We do see some artwork of her though, and she does appear to be inside of a luxury vehicle, like a limousine, so she might be the canon rich girl that almost every Persona game has. But we see her Phantom Thief attire. It's got a pretty cool mask with some wings, and she sports an umbrella. In one of the promotional videos, we also get a peek at what her persona will entail. Some people are saying she is a navigator because this doesn't look super mobile, but she does have an umbrella she carries around with her. Is that a weapon? Which we've never seen a navigator use a weapon before, so that would definitely be a first. So, we know our Phantom Thieves. We have Wonder, Cattle, Closer, Soy, and Wind so far. But what about the other characters in this game? Aren't they also Phantom Thieves? Not exactly. Let's talk about that. While Wonder and his buddies are living, breathing humans, Phantom Idols are cognitive manifestations of characters. I think they've done this for a couple reasons, but mostly to just save time and effort. Not every character can have a bombastic HD cutscene of them confronting their shadows. Some of them have to just show up and be like, all right, I'm ready to fight. Where are them shadows at? That's my theory of what cognitive idols are. And there's a lot of them, including Joker. Yeah, Joker's in the game. That shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody. But he's not a core piece of the story, at least not yet. At the game's launch, Persona 5 and Persona 5X are collaborating, which sounds really silly, but it's for the OG Phantom Thieves to team up with the new crew and take down Kamoshida. But Joker himself won't be meeting Wonder outside of LeBlanc. The LeBlanc is just like the gateway to their worlds coalescing, which pretty much all but confirms, yeah, other characters other than Persona 5 are going to show up in this game. The devs themselves even comment saying, yeah, the X in P5X stands for, games crossing over. So we could get Persona 4, we could get Persona 1, we could even get Metaphor. I know that sounds crazy, but, that'd be cool. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Who are these other Phantom Idols that we can pull for? Well, there's a lot of them, and I gotta start with my favorite. I'm not even joking. When I saw this character design, I was like, oh my god, P5X has so much potential. Keio Kamiyama, aka Okon, is a 44-year-old housewife who used to be a fashion designer, and this design rules. I know the obvious jokes are like, LOL mommy, but this is awesome to get an older woman's insight on what living in modern Japan is like and how she might think about her younger days, because her Phantom Idol form is not her currently. It's her when she was in high school. And this is referenced in her codename, which is Okedon, which is a chicken rice bowl with eggs also. So you get the grown-up chicken and you get the young egg. And yeah, this is her younger form where she was, you know, more experimental with her fashion. But this design goes so hard. I was the first to say, like, you know, like, it's not so Ijima though. Are they gonna have the Atlus essence? I don't even care, bro. This fit, she's so cool. She's a navigator type. She fights with her cell phone and gives buffs to the party. That type of theming rules. And god dang, I also just want more older characters. Like, this is the game to do it, bro. Ko is Wonder's neighbor, and she also has a nephew, Ryo Kamiyama. It's not totally clear if they're related, but they're probably related. And he is a tokusatsu fan. He wears the tokusatsu belt outside. He poses like a tokusatsu guy. He loves himself some Kamen Rider. I like it too. I can't hate, but god dang, boy. And his codename is Leon. Don't know what that's a reference to. So tokusatsu has just always been referenced in Persona. Like, it shows up, I swear to gosh, in like every game. And it was only a matter of time until one of the characters was super inspired by it. We've also had Kenemata in the past, who his, you know, theurgy skill and reload is very inspired by tokusatsu and, you know, giant robots. I wonder though, is he like a middle school kid? Like, would he be the equivalent of, you know, a high school freshman in our grading system? If so, that could also be cool, and see their family dynamic. Like, geez, that's my auntie. She's so embarrassing, and she's the coolest lady ever. She comes up and, like, you know, like, oh, I love you, Rio. That would be so cute. Like, I'm hoping there's that level of interactivity with your characters outside of the metaverse. But yeah, if you don't know what Kamen Rider is, look it up and you'll see the comparisons pretty easily. Now let's talk about Yoing Lee, who is definitely going to be a popular character. I don't even need to see the popularity poll. I already know she's going to be topping it for a good while. But she is a college-age student, age 19, who lived in mainland China, and now she's going to college here in Japan. At the day of recording, she gets a special trailer for her confidant, and it is genuinely funny. Even without reading any of the subtitles, you just get a good idea of her personality and her style. She likes spicy food, and she's a little bit silly. Her trailer, even though I didn't understand it, it's funny. She's going up against the 4 Heavenly Kings, except one of them's a lion dog. She beats them all. It's sick. She fights with an SMG and another pole arm. And honestly, she's just like, she's so cute. Like, everyone should love this. I mean, they gotta make her good, right? They gotta make her good. My headcanon is that she's gonna big dog Wonder all the time. Be like, I remember what it was like to be a high school student. Having no worries. Cherish the days, young ones. Like, dude, you're like 2 years older than me. God dang. For her everyday attire, her shirt also says study on it in English. Like, does she know? Does she know, like, what that says? Like, is it a parody of, like, oh, I don't know how to read this, but, you know, I like wearing it. I'm not sure, but I love her. I hope the writers treat her well, and she's not like a Mary Sue. That's all you know, she's almost too perfect. But you want to talk about a character with some flaws. We got Kyoshi Kiritane, codename Ki, and he is an underclassman. And in his trailer, he's spying on the main character. He apparently loves the supernatural and the occult. In his Phantom Idol form, he looks like some sort of, like, priest. Like, he's not even a thief. If I was a betting man, he would use light skills to do damage, and his weapon of choice is some sort of fist weapon, kind of like Makoto, and a flamethrower. Unlike Makoto, that is a very interesting ranged weapon, sir. So his whole thing is like exorcising, you know, these evil demons, and I imagine he'll be like a Chuny boy stereotype. There's a lot of promise with this character. I don't imagine he'll be too popular because, you know, he's got glasses, he's got freckles, but they can do so much with this character. Some characters in Persona, they're not the coolest, they're not the most popular, but I still find a way to bond with them. And I'm really impressed with the male cast so far. And that includes Kyoshi. I'm rooting for you, man. I know the big meme is that, yes, everybody rolls for the super attractive girl characters in these type of games, but I don't know. I think the fellas, they did a good job designing them too, including Toshiya Sumi, codename Sepia, the color of purple, and his main arc is that he's unemployed. Relatable. And he spends his time fishing at Camp Ichigaya in Tokyo. Apparently he's so good at fishing, he caught the biggest fish in the pond without even a hook. What's up with that? But this is the best part. His Phantom Idol attire, it looks great. You know, he's got a top hat, he's got a cane. That's cool and all. But he has a duck foot gun, which that is actually the name of it. The guns that just shoot in all directions. funniest crap I've ever seen. And I really enjoy the idea of the mini games in P5 having characters associated with them. Sepia could be the fishing ground, and Arai could be the batting cages, because, you know, she likes baseball a lot. Just makes you think, like, dang, like maybe the whole time these characters were there. It's just Joker never had a reason to talk to them. But yeah, he's a charming, unoffensive guy. I think people are gonna like this character. There's a little bit something here for everybody in P5X. Even people that like robots. Yue, codename Buay, is a girl that Wonder meets while playing a game on the internet, which begs the question, you know, her appearance is kind of wacky. Like, is that really her, or is that just her avatar? Is Wonder playing Second Life? Like, what the? Like, he could be. As for her Phantom Idol attire, she skates around and shoots lasers while wielding sci-fi looking chakram. If she's not an electric persona user, I would genuinely be shocked. That's not a pun, I promise. But while most characters' real-life counterparts look pretty normal, the irises of her eye make me think that, yeah, she might be a robot or some sort of AI character. Like, you know, the precedent is there for the Persona series. Or maybe that's just how she wants to present herself, and Wonder bumps into her in the real world and says, oh, you look totally different, but, you know, hey, you're my homie, you know? Or maybe she's the other anti-shadow weapon we never knew about. They've done that a couple of times if you follow the Persona series. But on to our next character, we have Miyu Sahara, who is the daughter of an affluent politician. However, she's run away from home, maybe because she can't, you know, live up to her parents' standards. But where is she now, though? She's on the run. Like, is she at like a net cafe? That could be an interesting arc. As for her Phantom attire, she seems to be a scuba diver. Maybe she swims inside of her persona because it also has a water motif and navigates us. All around, she's just kind of inoffensive. I don't have a lot positive or negative to say until we learn more about the character. I will say, though, I do like the water motif of the character itself. Kind of reminds me of Fuka. You know how Lucia was all like watery inside that globe of hers? Maybe that's just something navigators have in common. I don't know. But our last character is definitely not a thief, and I love that. Hina Nishimori, codename Riddle, is a kid's clothing model at just 10 years old. She's so adorable. Her Phantom Thief attire, she has this pickaxe. The jokes write themselves. Kids yearn for the mines. And she's got this little toy gun, and she rides in her persona and shoots psychokinetic blasts. I just can't. It's so precious. She's tied with Ken as the youngest persona user, and Ken, he didn't need no robot to jump inside. He was where they at, you know. But Riddle's animations rule. Her like persona comes apart and has all these propellers. It's so creative. And god dang it, I'm not gonna get her. I already know I'm not gonna get her. And that ticks me off. Let's just get into the monetization aspect. These characters rule. They're super detailed. They're all unique. They have amazing super attacks, but how do the devs fund this with gacha mechanics? And we already know, since the game is out in China right now, how the gacha is. After you draw 80 times on a banner, there is a 50-50 pity system that is popular in HoYoverse games. Now, I'll be honest, I don't have a lot of insight here, because I don't really play Genshin Impact or Honkai. I don't like the designs. I'm sorry, don't kill me! Don't kill me! The pink lady's cool. I don't know her name, but she's pretty. But I've talked to my friends that do play HoYoverse style games, and apparently some of them are fans of the pity system, some of them are not. It really comes down to how generous they are with free pulls with this game. But essentially you pull 80 times and you have, I guess, a 50% chance to get what you want. And after that, your next 5-star is guaranteed to be what you want. I'm kind of mixed on that because I've never experienced that type of system, but it's not what I'm used to for gacha games. I do know, though, they have taken a lot of inspiration from the biggest name in the gacha market. It's all but confirmed now that yes, this game will feature domain systems from Genshin Impact and an artifact system. Now, the artifact system, I more or less understand. These are pieces of gear that you continually farm for, which have random number stats on them. And you do these missions or battles, whatever, hoping to get a desirable role as high as possible to make your character as good as it can be. Frankly, that sounds exhausting, but Genshin and Honkai are pretty popular, so maybe I'm in the minority here. So until I play it for myself, I'm not going to make any judgments. And yeah, we're going to be playing it pretty soon. This is also a video to talk about my announcement. We'll be streaming the game today and pretty much all week here on my YouTube channel and Twitch, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. I plan to make a lot of content covering P5X, so if you don't want to miss it, make sure to follow and stay tuned. I tried to get in the Chinese beta to report on my findings, but was never able to do so. But now we'll be able to play the game and using some tools, hopefully in English. Now, for those who don't want to like tape Google Translate to your computer monitor, when can you play this game? What if you don't want to download the Taiwanese version? It is all but confirmed this game will eventually see a worldwide release, but obviously these Asian markets are the top priority. These are the people that play these games the most, and it's easier to translate and get voice actors for. All around, this year is stacked for Atlus, so while I can't say anything for certain, we do know because of insider Midori that they are definitely considering it, and to this day, she has yet to be wrong on anything she said. But let me know what you think. If you played a Hoyoverse game, let me know what like how is the pity system? How is this like artifact system? I don't know anything about it, but I'd love to hear about it. And yeah, more Persona 5X videos coming real soon. Till next time. Bye.